Alright, if you're looking into building a hog pen quick and simple, go ahead and check out this full build start to finish that we have to include the house, the perimeter, and the water barrel. Then follow along on our journey, friends. And you go 16 feet that way. Alright. Well, actually, I'm going to measure 15 feet because I want 6 inches of the panel to stick past on either side. See if that works. That'll be good. And I will be putting another T-post in the middle of where the panel is going to go, but now we go out that way. So I'm going to go with just a gross estimation of what I think square is. I'll take a diagonal here. I'm going to go out 15. Somewhere in there. But I also need to figure out what my diagonal is even supposed to be. I don't even know what it is yet. I should have. Where's that app? Alright, so I couldn't find the app that I had. I think I got rid of it, but I'm just going to use the calculator soup. So I put my 15 feet in there, and then it gives me, calculate the diagonal is 21.21 feet. So I think, you know, within 21 1/4, give or take. So let me go out to my other corner. See, let's move y'all back so you can kind of see, try to see the whole thing. I don't know, give or take. Right now I'm at 22. I need to be about there. I think it'll be good enough for government work. Double check this is still at 15. Yep. I need to put go. Now do the other corner, and then it'll be time to put some panels in. Now I'll be a monkey's uncle if I didn't take my measurement, 15 feet, and I put it over here, and I was like, you know what? That looks to be too far out, so I moved it. Plus I got a big rock right here, so I wanted it to be on the other side of the rock. And then took my diagonal, and it was money right on. Wow, couldn't have asked for anything better. Except for maybe not to have a rock right there, though. No, it'll work out. Cool. I like it. Okay, well, before putting the panels in, because actually, as I'm recording this, I don't even have the panels yet. Every place in town is out or don't carry them, or the places that do carry it in stock are currently out. So if I want to be able to get them now, I have to go outside of town. But I am going to take some of this recycled metal. I need to build like a little lean-to type thing. So let's go ahead and get this. I got some wood over here, just some little 2x2. So let's get this cut up, put together, and then let's get a little lean-to made. I'm actually going to cut this at a 40-degree angle, not necessarily a 45. It has a little bit of a splay, and which I might even do. I mean, that's pretty. I might even do more than that. That's still going. That'd be further down, so I actually want to go the other way. 45, 55. I want it to be more of a steeper angle, not a shallower angle. So let's do a 55. It's what I was thinking, but I was thinking in reverse. There we go. So, until we can get some netting or... I hear you. I hear you. You're not the boss of me. You think you are. You think you're the boss of everybody. That's the boss man. Well, still not the boss of me, but... Oh, Max. I think that'll look all right. Decent angle. I like it. I'm gonna get the drill. Probably do not need it to be this long. The problem is, I still don't know how many pigs we're even getting yet. Knowing my luck, we'll do all this and they don't bring any. I'll put this up. I see you. Little baby tick trying to get me. Trying to get me. So I need to get some guinea hens. Be done with all these ticks. All in due time. So, there we go. I'm going to put some bracing here on the sides, and then I'll probably end up putting another pole down, like a top bottom, and then I'm going to attach some metal to it, and then that'll be it. We'll set it over in place. All right. Yep. That works. Good. It looks okay. Let's do the other side. Think that'll do. Yeah, exactly how I feel. Yeah. Let's go find a home for it. That'll work. And then I left a loop up on the top. Well, for one, that's a handle, as you've seen, for me to be able to move that around a little easier. But I also don't want this to blow away in the event that we have a storm or whatnot. I want it to be secured, so I'm going to go ahead and secure it to the tree. And yeah, I think it'll be okay. I need to flip this one around. Yeah, it looks better. Stand up. Thank you. So actually, in case you did not know the reason why I turned this around, or why I said it needed to be turned around. So with these panels, right, you have your horizontal lines and then you have your vertical lines wire. That's all welded wire, right? Well, you want the horizontal lines to be on the inside of your panel, right? So if the animals are coming and rubbing up against it, they're not, hurting themselves with the horizontal lines. So now I got these in place. I need to get a third, and then we'll go through and then start getting all the other T-posts put in. So for me, whenever I'm putting in my panels, I do actually like to lay it down flat and then kind of butt it up to your T-posts. Just get it, because once you have your 4 corners established on either end, because you always want to do this side first and then go to the very opposite side and do that. And then once you've done that, you can now take your other 2 panels, butt them up against of where these panels sit, okay? And then that will establish the line of where you're going to put your T-posts, which you'll see. But I got this kind of like where I would like it to be. I'm not too worried about putting the wire in just yet, but I do have, this is a 55-pound test galvanized steel wire. and then just some lineman's pliers, or if you have normal pliers, or even like the lock wire pliers that has like the twisty thing on there. I do have a set of those. I just don't know where it is exactly. Plus, I can see I have a root right here. Kind of bring y'all in. I have a root right here that I'm probably going to have to deal with. I might need to chop that, at least a section of that root out. That way the fence will sit correctly. And then, this is a pretty flat area of where I need everything to go. But if for whatever reason, it still has holes and whatnot, I'll just go grab rocks to put on the bottom. It'll be all right. I get it. Come to help me. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 12 puts me right there. That should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep. And I'm probably gonna have a root. No, my luck. My luck, but I didn't. All right. So from there, now that I got that established, just try to get it as close to your panel as possible. As long as these are touching, I can see that post kind of moved a little bit. I do think there is a root there, but it's only going to be off by. It'll curve it the panel just a little bit, like an inch maybe. Right. Just cut you off a piece. Go around your post, around your fence. Twist it tight. And then as I'm twisting my wire, I'm also leaning into my panel some, which I can see right here like my panel's off the ground. So, because I do have a hump right here, so I am going to have to come reinforce this corner. Because my ground's not perfectly flat. Alright. So, I'm just going to worry about a wire up here on the top. Then I'll put one down at the bottom. basically all 3 posts, and then I'm gonna go do the exact same thing over on the other side. And then once I got that done, I'm gonna do the front and the back panels. Now bring you right back. Okay, so not too bad. Yes, doesn't have to be perfectly straight. I could probably even go out there and even like bend, right? Bend this post. Looks okay. Ain't got to be perfect. I think I've done enough videos talking about perfection. Right, it's all in the eye of the beholder. So whenever I did these posts, right, I'd already planned on having extra coming out. So now I put these panels down to where they're touching that panel. Okay, now as you can see, I have overhang over here, and then I have these basically lined up almost directly with that one. Okay, now the reason for that is I'm actually going to be putting like a little gate here. So I am going to cut the panel. I will have another T-post just to be able to do a little 3-foot gate, 2-foot gate, whatever. But then this one back here, okay, and it's the whole reason why I did that is for that purpose. Okay, I needed that little extra. But then back here, right, obviously you're going to have it overhanging by half a square. So it's going to overhang 3 or 4 inches on that side. Then it's going to overhang 3 or 4 inches on that side. Okay. Now, can I come back and cut that, or even bend these wires to kind of wrap around? Sure, I could do that. But for now, I'm just going to let it hang over. So all that's in, and then I'm going to go back through. Like I'd already added some wire. Whenever you're tying your wire, so if you're using this type of wire, it's always a good habit, you know, just use a little bit extra, and then whenever you're done, cut it off to where it's kind of a flush cut, but then bend it back in. Many years in the Navy of working on my weapon systems and things that I did. Well, for one, my weapon system used a lot of lock wire, right? So a lot of the bolts and everything, not only did they have a compound on there, you know, like the Loctite, to keep the bolts in there, but they also had a lock wire that got installed in a backwards S configuration, and it really locked that bolt in. It did not allow it to back out, caused from the vibration. Well, whenever you're dealing with a lot of lock wire throughout your time, you cut yourself, you cut your arms, your hands on that lock wire a lot. So you learn to bend it back, so minimizing cutting yourself. Of course there's a root. Why wouldn't there be a root? Well, because I'm right next to the tree. Duh. Probably could be bent a little bit. Let's go try to straighten that out. That's the only tree I got with a fork in it, which I do have a project coming up where I need to make some pickets to make actually a little picket fence to go around the garden. to be able to keep the chickens and the goose out of the garden. Mainly the goose. She wants to eat all the carrots. So, and I do know that you need a tree with a fork in it to be able to help with that. Or, I don't know. I'll figure something out. But it's definitely a good way to re-straighten. So I'm reutilizing every single T-post from this property, best of my ability. And boom, just like that, you got a straight T-post again. So now let's go install it. That one hit a rock. Those aren't not going to be in the same spot of the fence, but that's fine. That one was definitely hitting a rock, so I had to move it over. So if I wanted them to be the same, I'd have to take this one out, move it over. I'm not that OCD. I am, but I'm not. Let's get these tied in. Straightened up. Your middle post is actually your most important. At least that's what my papa always told me. Because this one, for one, it's right in the middle of your fence. Two, you also put it right at that very center rib of this fence, and it doesn't allow the fence to go side to side if they're rubbing up on it. I did not learn how to do hog fence from no YouTube university. I learned how to do hog fence from my papa many, many moons ago. I know my dad back in the day used to raise pigs. I did a couple times, like in high school, but I never kept them at the house because we never had property. I never had property with my parents where we could have animals. So I just raised them, with like 4-H or something like that, FFA. And then I failed my English test and I couldn't take it to show. Yeah. It happens. I hated English. All right. Wind's picking up a little bit, but I'm down to the last post. So, and this is going to be where the gate goes. So it just really all depends on what size gate you want. I don't need a big one. I think that'd be perfectly fine. Personal preference. So all the rest of the posts are the exact same, you know, going around of where they go. And then this is an extra. Do I absolutely need this post right here for the corner? Probably not, but it acts as like a backer for the gate, like a stop. And then everything will be attached. You know, I'll have two hooks, one top, one bottom, to attach, you know, to this side over here. And this is also, I think, the best post I had. Pretty close to it. But it's also going to be my hinge post. And this gate is not heavy by any means. Right? Obviously, if it was heavy, I would need to attach something else, you know, to it. That way it's not one to lean, but it's a very, very lightweight gate. So, don't think I need to worry about that. Alright, let's get this last panel in. Here comes my helper. Can't get in there no more. All closed off now, giggles. All closed off now. I know. Gonna need an Epsom salt bath tonight. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh, that's also the last of my wire. Definitely gonna have to buy more because did not finish. What you think? What do you think? You like it? Huh? pigs will like it? You excited to get some pigs? Huh? Like, I don't know. I don't know what a pig is. Mm-hmm. I know. I know. I know. Good girl. It's a good girl. Need to get some more wire.
I got one more.
Alright, so just one of the safety concerns whenever you're doing that, for one, I don't know if you can tell, but I was actually cutting that at an angle just a little bit, so it does put kind of like a back cut on the panel that I want to stay in place right, and it just kind of minimizes being cut on those things, right? Now obviously I still got to cut these off, but I don't know if you can tell, but you can see some of these, like they kind of bend out that way and then some bend that way. Well, because this wire, whenever it's made, right, it's actually on a spool. Well, some of that wire still has memory, right? Metal has memory, and whenever you go to cut those, right, it's going to go in or out because it's no longer being supported. So just be wary of that. You know, don't rush. Let the wheel do the cutting. All right, so now I need to get these cut off here. That way I have that portion there be my hinge, and then it comes over and it will overlap by that much, and that'll be all right. Be good. Okay, gate's all finished. I'll probably come up with a different solution for locking the gate, closing it, whatnot. Right now I just have a pin, the chain that can wrap around, that's attached to that T-post. And then I have a root right here, so we do have to kind of pick up on it, but it still opens. I just used some radiator clamps as hinges on that. It works just fine. Allows you to be able to pick up the gate to help swing it, and then just kind of set it down in place, right? And then go ahead and chain it back up. Put a pin in. Easy peasy. Not gonna go nowhere. Okay, so pretty much that's the full build on this. The reason why I'm actually stopping here, and I'm also going to show you too, so if you follow us on our side channel, obviously I had already discussed this. That link's always down in the description. But T-posts were on the inside because I planned on doing hot wire inside to be able to train them to hot wire. And then this is basically just a visual wall for them not to cross the hot wire, right? So with the hot wire being on the inside, they shouldn't even touch this. And I also used 55-pound test wire, right? It's very strong. The pigs, plus they're small. They're potbelly pigs, okay? Now with this, obviously if you're not using hot wire on the inside of your panel or your pin, then definitely put the panels on the other side, on the inside. Okay, same thing. All your horizontal wires are running inside the pin. Okay, that way they're not rubbing up against the vertical rods on the inside. Okay, so that's it. But now I still wanted to kind of do the full build, and we're actually planning. So now that I'm not doing the hot wire, I do plan on actually moving this. So this was always going to be a temporary setup. We did plan on moving it over into the corner, and that will come at some other point. But I still wanted to show you the full build from start to finish, including the water. So let's actually jump over to the shop. Let's finish up the water tank, and then this will be 100% done. Okay, so here's our water barrel and the fittings that I purchased, and I'll actually provide the link for this down in the description. So this actually has a bulkhead connector. Now with this type of barrel, you do have to cut a hole into the top and then put some type of lid on there. This one was actually repurposed. It was actually a dog house, so it already had the hole in the top. Okay, so I actually have 3 fittings, and these are the stainless steel nipples. Okay, and you actually want the cup to be on the bottom. So with this, the reason why I wanted to go with these and not something else is because you can actually have the bulkhead going in to where it's barely sticking out like this, or you can turn it around and have it sticking out a little further. The reason why that's important is because, for one, your barrel is round. So I do plan on putting one right here in the center. Okay, and you also want to be able to come up a little bit off the bottom, comfortable for the pigs, right? Along with, it allows sediment or whatever, if something were to get into the barrel, that dirt or sediment goes down to the bottom and they still have fresh water at the top. Okay, and then I want to space it at least 6 inches. And now this one, since the barrel is curved and I need it to be able to stick through the fence, I'm going to put it the other way to where it's actually sticking out. It gives me the extra, what is it, almost 2 inches, give or take. 1.25 inches, extra 1.25 inches that will stick out from the barrel. And then you go ahead and thread, so your nipple can be threaded into either the short side or into the long side, and it sticks out even further. So let's go ahead and get some holes drilled, and this kit does come with the hole saw, so if you don't have the hole saw, it does come with that. All you need to install this is a drill. It even comes with Teflon tape. Just use a little knife or a little reaming tool if you have that, just to kind of clean that up a little bit. So, and I will do that here in a second. Now this has the rubber rings on both sides, so if you're doing the shorter version here in the front, then you go ahead and remove the ring, remove one of the rubber washers, and then that will go right here, and you push it in from the front, like I said, and then go ahead and put your washer and thing on the back. But I do want to clean these out first, get all this extra gunk off here, and then to do the other ones, you're going in from the inside and you're pushing it out and then putting your nut on this way. All right, so let me get these 3 put on and then we'll be right back. Okay, and just like that. And obviously you want your rubber ring to squish out just a little bit. Could I have raised this up just a little bit to where it was a little more on this flat part instead of on this ring? Sure. I have done it on these before and it was fine. It did not leak. So now you go ahead and take your Teflon, And these are adjustable, and that's the other thing that I really like. So this little piece here, there is a spring inside. It has the little valve, okay, that is adjustable if you need to have more water or less water, okay. And then depending, so like this, so if that, I still need to finish tightening that, but if it ends up in that direction whenever you're first doing this, then you're going to have to turn the entire section from this piece here. You'll just turn it. So right now I'm just putting these in by hand. So let me get the wrench to get these fully tightened in, and then we'll adjust them to where they need to go. Okay, now that I have them in place, everything's turned to where they need to go, so the cups are up. So from here, and with these being extended out, this one being in, it puts it a little more on the same plane, so I can put it up against the fence, and all nipples should be sticking on the inside, so I can leave my barrel on the outside of the fence. All right, but let me go test this, make sure that there's no leaks, address any leaks that I do have, and then we'll go put it in place. Once you have your water filled up past where the bulkhead things are, come check for leaks. Now obviously if it's dripping here, this isn't tight enough. If it's dripping there, this isn't tight enough, right? And so far it looks like that one's leaking just at the actually just the front, and then that one's leaking possibly both spots. So yep, we will see what I need to do, because I do even have some of, like, it's more of a liquid or a paste Teflon instead of this tape, because this tape actually looks really cheap. So if I need to go that route, I'll do that as well. But that's it. Just address your leaks, and even if it's leaking really slow, I mean, this will drain that bucket out pretty quickly if it's full over time. So that's a lot of water wasted. And once you have everything worked out to where it's no longer leaking, go ahead and bring it over to your pen. Get it set up so you can see all three nipples do stick inside the fence. All right, enough to where they can get their mouths on it. And then with that, you can either strap it in, and if it's hitting on one of the things, then you might need to set it on wood like I did here, just all depending on where you're putting it into your barrel, right? But you do want it at least a foot up. And then you also want to think of your whole hog pen, pig pen, whatever you want to call it, into quadrants, okay? Sleeping area, food, water area, and then bathroom, okay? They're not going to use, actually, pigs are very clean. They're not going to use the restroom where they sleep, and they won't do that where they eat or drink, okay? So, and go ahead and separate out the food and water from the places that they sleep, and try to keep the food and water on the upside of a hill if you're on an area that is not perfectly flat, okay? That way all the poo and water is down below and not coming into their feed or sleeping areas. All right, and then basically all that's left with this is just to get some type of roof put up there, either weight it down or tie it off, latch it down however you need to. I'm probably just going to throw a rock up here for now. Like I said, all of this is going to move. Okay, that's it. So definitely thank you all for following in on today's journey of bringing both parts 1 and part 2 together into a full build. If you missed out on those other 2 videos and you'd like to watch them individually, go ahead. We do ask to check out some of our other videos that we have. It's greatly appreciated. Like I said, a lot of things we do around here sometimes are like temporary builds, and we always move stuff around. So I already knew from whenever I first put this in that it was going to be temporary, but I just needed to do something quick before Mom and Dad decided to drop in with the pigs, and I wasn't ready for them. All right, I am going to have a different area set up in the long term. That'll be in a different video, I'm sure, But anyway, we definitely thank you all for joining in. If you'd like to stick around a little bit further, then go ahead and check out this video I have right here, or the whole year's playlist. It continues to grow as the year progresses. Icons at the top make it easy to subscribe both here and to our side channel. Go check that out. It's greatly appreciated. And last but not least, definitely get out there, thank a veteran every chance you get, not only on Veterans Day. We'll see you on the next one. Later, friends.